Wait a minute. You're telling me this is missing what now? Hey everybody, Josh RV Nerd of Bish's RV here with a whole new generation of Cherokee RV, including the introduction of a new series, the Wolf Den. Now, the Wolf Dens basically are the new price-aggressive member of the Cherokee family. What they didn't want to do is take their existing Wolf Pup, Gray Wolf, and Cherokee models and gut them. They didn't want to just take stuff and just peel it out and throw it out the window, because whenever you do that, when you de-content an RV, it always looks raw and stupid and unfinished. They wanted to build something from the ground up, designed to be more accessible and more affordable. And this is the smallest, lightest, and most affordable of all those. So it's kind of based on the Wolf Pup platform, but this single axle Wolf Den here, like all their single axles are now 7.5 foot wide instead of 7 wide, which is really opening up some interesting opportunities for floor plans. And this one right here, the reason it's called an EV, this is a no propane model. This is all electric heat, electric, cooking, electric everything. And it's not something with like big mega solar. Like it is not anything like that. This is for your casual camper, your folks who are just starting out or upgrading from a pop-up, and maybe you do a lot of park camping, or you have something like a portable generator available for you. That's who this one is intended for. Now, at Bish's, we could upfit this sucker with a big old solar package, but chances are, if you want to do something like that, by the time you factor in the cost of a dealer-installed solar package, there might be better options for you. This little thing right here, though, it does have a Camp Queen bed up front, but it definitely has a space if you want to go true queen. It's totally capable. You've got the pair of very wide-open bunks off there in the corner, and I like how they're doing like the little kind of tote storage in the, I guess kind of like pantry area, because that really lets you use it as like clothing, as pantry, as a lot of different things. And the window overlooking the campsite of the RV, right over the kitchen sink, that really speaks to me. That's something I like. Now, it is not the be-all, end-all, the biggest, bad asbestos of all the campers. But I'm curious to know what you think about this little series as we go. Now, I want to give them some credit here. A lot of times when a manufacturer comes out with something that is unapologetically their price leader, it looks like it's unapologetically their price leader. It looks cheap. Now, certainly, there's areas in this RV where they didn't go as far as like a Gray Wolf or a Wolf Pup. But overall, I don't think the look of it is too awful bad. You don't have to like feel ashamed toting this sucker around. Now, one of the other major changes on the single axles in the Cherokee family versus last year is they are now 7.5 foot wide instead of 7 foot wide. So this is still a Camp Queen bed over here, but if you notice with the extra body width, there's now more room than ever. So if you wanted to swap out that factory backbreaker death wafer, it is still 60 inches wide. The bed platform is true queen sized, but the Cherokee factory doesn't stock true queens. So this has a Camp Queen from the factory. Otherwise, it'd probably have a true queen. What's creating there is that little headboard area, or it's the bottomless black hole pit for your pillow. I'd probably, if it were me, I would probably slide the mattress up that way and kick my feet that way on a Camp Queen, because I'd rather have my feet hanging off than my neck wrecking all night, but that's just me. And I would say that this is the headboard side more than likely, because this is where you have your power outlets up there. Now, there's areas where they have some cabinet storage, but overall, again, the whole concept behind this was to keep the price and the weight down. And what that means is that there's a couple areas where you do have some open face storage. You're going to want to kind of get some sort of baskets or totes or something to really maximize the functional effect of that. And I do like how, it is just one big door instead of several small doors. And they still have included their new magnet holdback latches on this, which is just a nice kind of classy touch, as opposed to those little, I think they're called bulldog clips that normally, they get bent up and wonky over time because you smash them with cargo. You don't have to worry about that here. So there's still some nice things, like you've got the household and USB plugs over here, which is both USB Type A and C. You've got one of each over there. The dinette does have some storage below it that can fold down into a sleeper if need be. And their little display thing here is kind of ruining one of the other things I was excited to show you. With this being all electric, it doesn't have a normal propane oven or anything like that, or stovetop. So what they did here is they went with a air fryer type microwave, which historically has always been called convection, but now it's suddenly called air fryer, and people are a lot more excited about that. So you're going to see the RV industry use the phrase air fryer and not convection, because I don't think a lot of people realize it's the same thing. But neither here nor there. Now, one of the other interesting departures from the typical RV, again with no propane, pure electric, it does not have a propane furnace. It is an electric space heating Tootsie Toaster, and in a little box like this, considering this RV is not intended to be like an Arctic cold season camper, well, that little fireplace, it's going to do the job. It's going to do the job just fine. Oh, sorry. I'm going to keep tilting you up here to the left because, like, I'm laying in the bed right now. That's where your TV hookups are located. I don't think most people are in this RV to watch TV all day, but if it is a rainy day and you bring a screen or something like that, that would give you an option. It's not a giant camper. It's not massive campsite window coverage, but, if you look at the percentage per the square foot, that kitchen window right there is awesome. Now, the counter space is, without question, quite limited. It's got almost like a bathroom sink that I've seen in some of the bigger Cherokees and Grey Wolves, but the idea behind that is to minimize how much space they're eating up in here so they can still leave some counter space. There are some outlets over there. Maybe some kind of flip-up counter extension would be cool, but you have to make sure you're not fighting with that outlet. But again, it's not made to have, big giant buffet banquets displayed in it or anything like that. And really, there's not a whole lot of enclosed storage in here, so I think I'm going to do everything pretty much live on camera for you today, including this guy over here. Again, they're calling it their air fryer, convection microwave oven job right here with the handy little trays to allow the air to kind of, whoosh around everything to heat your food up. I tell you what, I realize that I might be sounding kind of negative about air fryers. They're freaking awesome, dude. I don't know, like, compared to a traditional oven, like, I'm a pizza roll guy. I don't know if you noticed by my body type. I eat some pizza rolls, kids. And, it's like 8 minutes in an air fryer versus like 17 in a traditional oven. And I think that the texture's better. I like them better. I'm all about it. What do you think about this, by the way? Cabinet doors, door fronts are actually a surprisingly expensive item in RV design. So they were kind of trying to find a way to save some money, but they didn't want just pure open face storage like this. So over here, they included these handy little tote guys. Now, let me slide that all the way to the back to show you how much space is still kind of in here. There's actually still quite a bit of space, even with these totes inside that cabinet. I'm kind of curious. What do you folks think about that? Is that a cool thing? Is that something that should be a little more trending in the RV industry? Or are you not about that life? I'm a little bit curious. This is also a very open air bunk design, but I ain't mad at it because I think it helps the whole RV look and feel a little bit bigger. By the way, you're probably going to see little references to frogs around here because frog is the analogy used for the Forest River Owners Group. Now, by the way, these are just bunks. They're just bunks. There's nothing else going on in here. No USB or anything like that. So again, that might be something you want to kind of consider. Now, over here in the bathroom, even though we don't have a whole lot of enclosed storage for me to do my extra things, I do still want to do my toilet selfie champion routine. And overall, I thought that wasn't too bad. I thought that wasn't too bad at all, really, because they went with a shower curtain. And that does sort of require a little bit of a tub. But notice they don't go super crazy stupid tall with their tubs. I call it the Cherokee shub is my little thing for it. Now, the bathroom walls in here are very blank. However, with this not being a laminated wall RV, that means that there's studs in the walls that you can tap into if you wanted to hang like a towel rod or something like that. What you got to make sure, though, before you put the stud finder on the walls, first you hold it up to your chest and you have to go, yup, there's one. And that is how you properly calibrate one of those. Now, this RV has its ups. It has its downs. And if you're tall like me and looking up, you're going to feel a little bit down because there is no sort of skylight or anything above that shower space. Personally, I would really like it if they took this over here, which I didn't check. This is, it's just a vent. It's not a power fan. That kind of surprises me. I'm glad I checked up in there, though. But with, you see that light fixture right next to it? You could piggyback off that and put a vent in it if you wanted to for a few bucks, naturally. I kind of wish that was up there over, serving kind of double duty, acting as both a skylight, and a vent. What's your take on that? And what's the bunk rated for, you ask? Good question. one I hope to get the answer for someday, because anything anybody here can tell me is enough. To be fair, I think that bunk can hold so much spaghetti. Now, as you can kind of see, I am actually in the Cherokee new RV display right now, as these things just have become available. And as a result, we may have some guests at some point, and I may not be able to get fully around this thing the way that I would like to, but we're going to do our best. Now, you saw the weights and the measures there. This one is a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter. A lot of that weight savings comes from the fact that it just isn't chock full of fluff stuff, you know. One thing I do want to point out, though, because this is a departure from the Wolf Pup series, if you notice, you've got those rear stabilizers right by the tire, and that's really, really handy for stability. It will make the RV herky-jerky a lot less, but if you notice, here in the Wolf Den series, they did not include front stabilizer jacks. You can see that bracket hanging down. It is prepped for something like that, but it doesn't have them from the factory, so that might be a little factor to kind of consider. Something I really did like is how they still included the magnet holdbacks here for these baggage doors, which is really handy because I forgot to leave this baggage door open, so that really turned a case of chicken poop into chicken soup right there. And this is storage under the bed, but it's the same storage that we saw from the inside. It's not opened, or it's not partitioned off, rather. It is wide open. It wouldn't be hard if you wanted to segment that one way or the other. Like, I could see somebody doing, you know, partial outside, partial inside. It just kind of depends on what you prefer, but that's how this one is. Now, that tongue jack up front, that is the Cherokee Quick Jack. This thing's really cool. 8 seconds up and down with like a power drill. And that's all it takes for the tongue jack on this thing, but it is not a power jack. But again, that's easy stuff for us to be able to handle for you. The reflective coating on those windows, Cherokee kind of went back and forth on that a little bit, and then what they kind of found out is down in Sun Country, that really helps keep a lot of the extra sunshine and heat out of the camper. Now, in the Wolf Den series here, they have the same physical body construction, so they do have a walkable roof, but you may notice this little series has no allowance for a factory ladder. And things like that, mentioning little items like that might be a deal breaker for somebody. I hope you appreciate how we go out of our way to showcase that kind of stuff for you. Now, the outside of our tour is going to be rather brief today because, you know, it's a small basic series camper. One thing I do want to point out, though, is the water heater over here. Remember, this is a no propane camper. This is all electric. So this is a electric water heater with a 6-gallon holding tank. And what that will get you is about 7 gallons of hot water per hour. Now, if you wanted to swap that out with something else, you could, but understand, anything else is going to be propane, burning. And if you want a propane burning water heater, chances are you should probably just step up from the Wolf Den series over here into the Wolf Pup series. Although when you do that, you're probably going to instantly add, I'm going to estimate, about $3 grand to the price tag. That is really the whole crux of the matter with this Wolf Den series. If what you're looking for is just the fact spam, I don't need fluff stuff, this is going to be your huckleberry right there. So, let me know what you think about this one. Smaller, lighter, more basic, but way easier on the price tag. Now, pricing changes as the year rolls on. That's why I don't burn a price into my video. So what I'm going to do is leave you a link in the video description, or you can scan this QR code off your TV if you're sitting at home and you want to get an idea of what one of these things run. If we have one in stock, it'll be on our website with a price displayed for you. And if not, you let our team know. We don't need your bank account number just to get you a quote on something. When you're ready, we're ready. Until then, we'll see what I scare up next. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone. Actually, let me know if there's a member of the family or group or any RV. I can't get to every request, but I'll do my best, so keep them coming.